Hey, what's going on, crew? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Cyranum here. We're to take a look at the top 5 all-time favorite older phones in 2022 that are like the older smartphones from, you know what I'm saying, a few, like maybe a year or two ago. But do me a favor, if you're the first time to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through if you're new. But if you're already a part of the crew, so the first device we're going to be taking a look at that's an all-time favorite of mine is the Moto G Stylus, and this is the OG one, the first one that came out. It has the only one that had dual speakers. For some reason they removed it after they put it on this one, which is kind of why I kind of gravitate towards this one. 48 megapixel around back, 4000 milliamp hour battery, 6.4 inch display with a fingerprint around back, and we do get a you know, you can see the triple camera setup right here, which is kind of crazy. So I'm going to get into that in a little bit more detail, but you know, obviously this is going to be really solid. 20 megapixel around front, textured power button, which is pretty crazy. I really like that as well. But it has Type C. It does have a headphone jack at the bottom, dual speakers on board as well. So as far as the display, we're getting aluminum alloy for the materials on here, but it's going to be plastic on the back and plastic on the sides. But you know, I think the cameras have aluminum in them or whatever, and then LCD IPS display, 1080 by 2300, 397 for the PPI. And what I really like is that they put Dolby Atmos on this thing, so I think that's pretty cool. And it was updated to Android 11, which is pretty something that's pretty crazy as well. This device does have a lot of cool features like Moto audio. I'm sorry. It also does have like some so you could just customize the music, you could customize the sounds and everything like that. And you know, it's not gonna have NFC on board, but it's gonna have really nice performance on this thing. We do get a Snapdragon 665 on here, so it's not going to be the craziest in the world, but we do get 4 gigabytes of RAM coupled with it. It does keep up in 2022, but I just really like this device for the price and some of the stylus features, as well as the audio, and overall just a really nice phone to check out. Now, I didn't update it in a while now, but it does have a new update for here, so I'm just going to go ahead and install that and whatever ones come after. Now, another really solid device that I still, you know what I'm saying, is an all-time favorite that I still really like to use, an older budget device, is the Bold N1, and this is a really solid device. It has Gorilla Glass on the front and back. It comes with a case so you can actually protect it when you're going outdoors and stuff like that, but it's held up really well. It's got I put a tempered glass on here just to protect it a little bit more or whatever, but for the power button, it's actually textured. You get your volume rockers right above that. In-display fingerprint sensor, pop-up selfie camera on here as well. Really nice solid feel in the hand. It also does have something that I really like called wireless charging. So when you put this on the wireless charger, it will actually charge up. So I thought that was pretty cool that it does have wireless charging on this guy. It's just a really dope feature about this guy. You do get a 6.4 AMOLED display, Helio P70 for the processing, 3,500 for the milliamp hour battery. It's basically a notchless phone. So this is one of the almost no phones really have this design, which is one of the best designs in the entire world, because there's no notch, no punch hole, no cutout, just a really solid overall phone to look at as well. And it's really fast with the P70 on here. It also does have, you know, Android 10 update, which is as well. So I thought that was something that was pretty cool about this guy. And you know, it does show you that we are on an older updated version of here, but you know, it did get the Android 10, which is what they promised, so I thought that was pretty cool. But the colors on here are going to be super punchy, super bright. It's going to be a fingerprint magnet, right? So I just want to make sure you guys know that. But we have as far as the camera setup, we have a 13 megapixel selfie, 16 megapixel around front as well, and they're actually 13 around front, there's 16 around back, 5 megapixel for portraits. And so I thought that was something that was pretty cool. But This is a really good solid device for the price, and it's only about 130, which is crazy because when it was released it was about 250. So I definitely think this is a steal in 2022 and one of my all-time favorite budget devices under $200. Now another all-time favorite phone that I like to use is the Redmi 8 Pro. The Redmi Note 8 Pro, and this is a really solid device. It has Gorilla Glass as well, fingerprint, facial recognition, headphone jack, IR blaster, 60 hertz on the display, but 64 megapixel camera for the rear, 20 megapixel for the selfie. Gonna be really solid. It has Android 11 on board, power button on the right hand side, volume rockers right above it, Type-C, and it also does have the headphone jack as well, which I really do like. You can expand the storage on this thing, but the camera setup is going to be really crazy. 6 gigabytes coupled with 64 or 128 depending on which model you choose, but we do get a nano coating on here, IP52, splash resistant, 394 for the pixels per inch, 1080 by 2340, 19 by 5.9, as well as 84. It's got a really nice solid look to it, really solid to it. Helio G90, so it's going to be a gaming phone. You could play Fortnite on here, you could play all your games on here, and it's going to run really smooth. Everything that I do on here is relatively quick, so I had no issues whatsoever with it. Really customizable. You could customize the themes, the fonts, the icons and stuff like that. So just a really powerful device still for the price, and I definitely want to recommend this one as well. A lot of people said that they were getting some of the newest updates, so yeah, I do see that we have an update on this guy, so I thought that was pretty cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the next phone, and this is probably one of my favorite all-time devices, and but in 2022 is definitely really solid as well. Another cool thing that I like that they implemented was like the floating windows inside of this software, which is really cool, so you can just get to your apps really quickly. But and it's also resizable, which is something that's pretty cool. Really fast, really intuitive, and just a really solid overall good phone. Now the next device I'm going to be talking about is the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, which is one of my all-time favorite smartphones, and especially in 2022. I really like the flat camera setup. It's extremely flat, embedded in the phone really nicely. Fingerprint sensor is off to the right as well. We get an iris scanner on this thing, which is kind of cool, and we also get that notorious stylus pen or Note S pen, which is kind of cool, and it's still going to hold up really well. It's got an super AMOLED display with quad HD on here. It's got Exynos or the Snapdragon version, depending on which one you pick up, right? Because there's like 5 versions of this thing, so I just want to make sure that you if you're talking about the North American one, you're going to be getting the Snapdragon version, so I just want to make that clear. But a lot of these devices are pretty solid. Overall they hold up really well. This one has a notification light, curved glass on the front, 3300 milliamp hour battery on this thing, and it's just going to be extremely solid for the price point and overall value, and it's just really good for the price. Let me just unlock this thing. But I really like the iris scanner on this, especially with the mask situation. You also do get that curved glass, which bleeds over the side of it, and just a really good overall experience still using this device. So this variant is the Snapdragon 835, which is still pretty powerful. It's still really good when it comes to the performance and everything like that. But you're getting updated from Android Nougat, and this has like Android, I believe, 9 on here. I don't think it's gonna get Android 10, but it's still just a really solid overall, purchase in 2022. One of my all-time favorite devices just because of the price, and it's got the IP68 as well as the so it's waterproof, and it's also splash resistant. 522 for the pixels per inch, 1440 times 2960 on here, always on display on board, and you're gonna get some pretty decent updates on this guy. So I really like this device overall, but let's just jump into the last phone. Another phone that I really still like to use in 2022 is the LG G8X ThinQ. This is just a really solid overall phone in 2022. Depending on what model you get, you will get Android 11, but if you don't have like AT&T or something like that, or like a model that gets updated, it will just stay on Android 9, which kind of sucks, or Android 10. But the main reason I like this device is for the multitasking privileges and access that we do get on here. You're gonna get that dual display combination, so you can do dual tasks. You could also do gaming on one end and joystick on the other, browsing the web on one side, and then like social media on the other end. Quad DAC on here, Snapdragon 855 as well. You're also gonna get a military grade IP68 on this thing, so it's gonna be pretty nice when it comes to the overall use in 2021. Just still a really good phone to use if you're the type of person who likes smartphones that have a lot of capabilities. This one will still be pretty powerful. You could still get a lot done. You could still fly through multitasking and things of that nature. So I just really like this device for the overall options it provides for the dual window, and also the performance, as well as the audio and display and speakers as well. But let me know what you guys think about the top 5 phones of my all-time favorites, budget phones under $200. And I'm gonna get right back with you. I'll check you guys later. Peace.